You check your phone. Nothing. You already know there's nothing. You checked 2 minutes ago, but you check again anyway because the alternative is sitting with the silence. Not the loneliness of being physically by yourself, the other kind, the one that shows up in a full room, at a table with people, even next to someone you love. The specific ache of being surrounded and still feeling like no one actually sees you. There's a verse that names something most people never say out loud, even to themselves. The fear that the people closest to you, the ones you assume will never leave, actually could. The man who wrote it didn't stop at friends or everyone. He named the 2 people a child is supposed to be able to count on more than anyone else on earth. And he said, even if they go, someone else won't. Forsaken by the nearest hands, yet never forsaken by him. We'll get to who, but first, a promise made to someone standing at the edge of something even bigger than being left by family. A man about to lead completely alone, with the one person who'd guided him for 40 years suddenly gone. Psalm 27:10, Web. When my father and my mother forsake me, then Yahweh will take me up. Hebrews 13:5, Web. Be free from the love of money, content with such things as you have. For he has said, I will in no way leave you, neither will I in any way forsake you. Psalm 27 is a psalm David wrote surrounded by enemies. The psalm itself never names the exact moment, and it isn't the only time in his life this could fit, so we won't pretend to know which. What matters is the fear running underneath the whole thing. People are lying about him, people are closing in, and the ground he's standing on doesn't feel steady. And in the middle of that, he says the quiet part out loud, when my father and my mother forsake me. Not if some stranger betrays me, not if the crowd turns. The 2 people whose entire job by nature is to not do that. Some read that line as something that already happened to David. Others read it as the outer edge of a hypothetical, the worst-case scenario he can imagine, stated to make a point. Either way, the claim doesn't change. Even if the bond you'd bet your life on breaks, then Yahweh will take me up. Not, we'll feel bad about it, we'll take him up. The same picture as someone lifting a child who has just been set down, cast down, but not forsaken. Here's where it's worth naming something quietly, because a lot of people carry this without ever putting words to it. If the place you learned that closeness is conditional, that you have to earn it, perform for it, be quiet enough or easy enough to keep it, was a relationship that was supposed to be unconditional in the first place, that wound doesn't just stay in the past. It becomes the lens you read every other relationship through, including, sometimes, how safe you let yourself feel with God. That's worth naming. It's not a verdict on you, but it explains why God is always with you can sound like exactly the kind of promise you've already learned not to trust. Now, Hebrews. The letter itself doesn't name its author. The early church debated this for centuries, and it's still unresolved. Some attributed it to Paul, others didn't, and the text simply doesn't say. What it does say is who it's for. People who had already lost real things for their faith, public shame, seized property, a community that no longer had their back the way it used to. And to people in exactly that position, the writer doesn't invent a new promise. He quotes an old one. I will in no way leave you, neither will I in any way forsake you. Those words were first spoken to Joshua, standing at the edge of the Jordan River, about to lead an entire nation into unfamiliar territory, with the one man who had led him for 40 years, Moses, now gone. That's who was first handed this promise. Not a crowd at ease, a man staring at the exact shape of aloneness, no mentor left, no map, a river ahead he'd never crossed, and enemies waiting on the other side. That's the promise Hebrews hands to a group of people who just watch their support system disappear. Not cheer up, not God has a plan. The same specific guarantee given to a leader stepping into total aloneness, reissued, word for word, to ordinary people who felt exactly that abandoned. The two texts land in the same place from different directions, Psalm 27 says, even the bond you'd bet everything on can fail, and it still isn't the end of being held. Hebrews says, this promise was never written for people with a full support system. It was written for the moment the support system is gone. Loneliness isn't proof that you're unlovable. It isn't proof that something is wrong with you that other people can sense and quietly avoid. What both of these texts insist on is that the worst-case version of being left, even the people whose job it was to never leave, still isn't the final word on whether you're held. You were never meant to read your worth off of who stayed and who didn't. That's not how either text measures it, and it's not how you have to measure it either. So sit with this rather than rushing to answer it. Who taught you that closeness has to be earned? And have you quietly been applying that same rule to God without ever checking whether it was true of Him? You don't have to answer that out loud, but don't rush past it either. Leave a comment, not the theological answer, the real one. Whose voice do you miss hearing the most right now? One word at a time, exactly as written. 66 books. We're still on the opening line. If this is the word you've been looking for, subscribe and stay awake with us. The Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Acts 7:48. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Romans 10:13. We are the called. Stay awake. Stay with us.